Welcome to WVTC TV Network, capturing family moments in real time, bringing families closer together from the comforts of home. We are unleashing something different to the world. Start your subscription today for the low price of $4.99 per month or $55 annually. Go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com to sign up today. WVTC TV Network is streaming live on 8 different platforms. You can easily download the WVTC TV Network app on the Apple Store, Play Store, Roku, Fire TV, and more. Here at WVTC TV, we have access to movies that everyone can enjoy, including independent films, Sons of a Preacher and a Good Thing, Treasures of Life, the epic drama, The Passion of the Christ, and the box office hit Madagascar Escape to Africa. Remember, go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com and sign up today.
Good day. God bless you. It's the time you've been waiting for. That's right. Don't worry. I am your host, Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard on a beautiful network. We want to thank the proprietor and friends of how do you say it?
WVTC.
WVTC Gospel Radio and TV program for inviting me here today. I am very excited because now is the season for a good time and celebrating life. And I am very excited. One of my good dear friends gave me a call a couple of days ago and said, hey, I'm in town. And guess what? The Gap X band is coming to the city of Chicago, state of Illinois, and the party is hot. So here I am today, my good friend Chris Black. We have been friends. Oh, my goodness. 20 plus years and better. And we're getting better with age. No shy about that. We're excited. But let me tell you, everybody, when I first saw the flyer that you're going to see for the promo, they're here this weekend in Chicago. They're going to turn it out. Got a special thing coming up tonight if you want to join us. But let me tell you, I was excited because the first thing I wanted to sing when I saw the flyer was, my heart is yearning for your love. But that's another day. That's another day. We're going to sing for that tonight. So joining me today and in this beautiful studio, I'm very excited. We were in the virtual green room and we almost had a show in itself. So I just want each of you gentlemen from my left to introduce yourselves and who you are in respect to this beautiful group that we're going to talk about.
Hi, everybody. I'm Maxie.
And what do you do, Maxie? What's your responsibility?
I'm the lead singer of the Gap X.
Well, shoot, you should have started off. Okay, Maxie. Okay. Yourself, my friend to the right.
I am Chris Black, and I am the bass guitarist.
Okay.
And I'm Oliver Scott. I sing and play keyboards, kind of utility guy, fill in the blank.
All right, fill in the blank. Fill in the blanks is always helpful. You're always present. So let's talk about this, gentlemen. The title alone, everyone will say that's not the Gap Band. Yeah. But tell us about the inception and who would ever want to start about the band that you're presenting now. Is it Gap X? Tell us what that production is. What is that inception of that concept coming from?
Well, Gap X, we call ourselves Gap X, the band. And that X has a dual meaning. X is short for experience. I'm the eldest member of the band at this point, and I got in the band in 1979, the Gap Band. Some folk call us side men. Some folks just call us the Gap Band. Whatever you want to call us. I was there from Shake Your Booty, which is the first national tour that the band did, up until I guess 2010, 2011, when the band just kind of dispersed and Charlie Wilson went solo. So the X means experience, and we just shorten it for X. The guys who experienced that rise of the Gap Band in the early 80s and into the highest success time that they had. And so that's what Gap X is for. And so when the band broke up and dispersed, Ronnie Wilson, the oldest of the Wilson brothers, who rested his soul, he started the band back up in 2000. What year was it, Chris? 2016. And so in 2016, again, the Gap Band came together. And he called it some of the older guys who were in the band back then, myself, Roman, Billy, who's still with Gap X, called us back in, and we did a few days together, but it didn't quite work out for a multiplicity of reasons. And so we decided, since we wanted to continue to do it, we didn't want to call ourselves the Gap Band formally anymore. So we are connected to the Gap Band strain of success. We were there for those years. And so we said, let's call ourselves Gap X. Gap Experience is what we were.
All right.
So we just shortened it with an X.
So let's talk about the funk.
I
mean, that's when you think about it, if you just play the instrumental without vocals, people are still dancing and moving their body. Funk has its own rhythm. Yeah. It has its own genre. So tell us about the funk and the times of inception with the Gap Band itself.
You know, back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, bands were the thing. And bands have almost disappeared as far as popular bands. There's a lot of bands out there, but popular bands were really the thing. You had Earth, Wind and Fire, which is like they're at the top of the heap, but you had bands like the Commodores, Gap Band, Cameo. Just so many bands were really coming forward with that funk. But the funk bands were like Gap Band, Cameo, Arcades. There were a few other groups out there. Lakeside.
It was
Ohio Players. I mean, they did funk, they did R&B, soulful music. So it's a vibe. You're right. It's a feeling. When you hear it, you know it, and it just makes you want to move.
I tell you, that's
hopefully we still got that.
You still got it, you know. And I'm so excited because you all are performing tonight, and we're gonna have Chris talk about that.
Yeah.
But I know the term, a song that Bob Marley says, one thing when you hear music, you feel no pain. And so that's what funk is to me.
Yeah.
You know, when you close your eyes and you hear old music, and with my radio program, we do something called midday music for our senior groups, and we play old school music, and it's just they back in a good time where life is good still, let's be clear. But you know, when we were just enjoying ourselves and we were gathering as families, you know, and some of the songs that you performed in previous were family reunion songs, you know. It was the original cha cha cha, you know, if you will. So let's talk about the Gap X. You've been here, you were here last year, and you're back again for another great experience. Tell us about what has taken place over the year and what we should expect tonight.
So tonight, what we're doing, we're going to be at the Royal Bistro, and we're going to meet, greet, you know, meet some people, but we're also going to give a sneak peek. We're going to give you all of it. Not all of it. You got to come tomorrow for that.
Right.
But we're going to give you a sneak peek, and if you don't have your tickets, you got to go and get them.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do a couple numbers, and you have to come and experience the party. The party is going to start tonight.
Yes, sir.
And then we're going to move it on to tomorrow night.
Right.
So we're just going to give you a little bit.
So as we can, we've been friends for many years. So let's talk a little bit about your career. I mean, just a little bit. We're going to bring it up to speed. You know, you can do a short version because this could be a docuseries, but let's bring up a short bit. Talk about what Chris Black has been doing. All I know is when I knew you, I think I met you, you had a bass in your hand. And that was some 20 years ago. So let's bring people up to speed in your career path and who you've worked with before.
So we met actually in the 90s. That's a long time.
We still doing good.
We still doing
better
good.
ways. That's right.
I have a bass in my hand. And at that time when we met, I was touring with this play called Paint the White House Black.
Paint the White House Black.
And we did Chicago at the Regal.
Yes, the Regal. God bless the Regal.
That's what we did. But over the years, I have performed, toured, and played with many people, from Beyonce to Kelly Rowland to Lil Wayne to Juvenile, Angie Stone. I mean, it's Regina Bell, music director for her, Phil Perry. So I have been blessed to be able to perform or tour or record or with many, many people. And my life is really, I tell people my life is colorful.
I like that.
It's colorful because yes, music is what I've been doing, but then I took another path because I wanted to help people.
Sure.
I experienced some things. I experienced sickness, diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and I was able to be healed from that. Through a lot of things that I was doing, a lot of things that I learned.
We call that, you can find this book, but it's after the mindset change.
Yeah,
something like that.
Achieve a winning mindset.
Yes, sir.
So from that, I wish I could bottle up what I did and just hand it out. But it don't really work that way. You can lead people, but they don't mean they're gonna take it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So I said the best thing I can do is offer up, my experience and things to them and educate myself, not just the experience, but do more education. So got my master's, got my doctorate in psychology. So I wanted to be able to just not be the person to say, yeah, this is what happened, but actually understand the technical aspects of what people are going through.
Absolutely.
So I can speak that language to them.
I love it. So we're going to come back to something because I want to talk to you. So how is there pressure on your behalf, being one of the lead vocalists and producing these beautiful songs that everybody sings? It's almost like karaoke at the party. Is there pressure on your end?
No, I don't really feel any pressure at all. I mean, this is what I do, what I've been doing many, many years. My side of this, I came into this group from a different angle. I live in Europe, and I've been over there like nearly now 40 years. And I was singing, some Gap Band stuff on YouTube. And one of the guys from the band saw the video and said, hey, man, you got to check out this guy. He sounded like Charlie Wilson. He's like, and people started
come tonight.
kind of coming at me and everything. And they contacted me and we started talking. And there was a member of ours actually who just passed this year. His name is Anthony Walker. We called him Baby Gap.
Yes, sir.
The Gap Band. Charlie's right-hand man just passed away. And he was the guy that discovered me on YouTube. Yeah. And that's how I got to the band, to these guys.
I love it. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that was when Ronnie started the band back up. We brought Charles in to be the lead singer at that time. That was in 2016.
2016.
So how can we, this is my term. How do you keep the authenticity of the Gap Band?
Well, what we can't keep is the Gap Band together. What we can keep is the authenticity of the sound. And I think when you hear us tonight at the Bistro, or even on Saturday evening when we do the big event, you'll hear that the DNA of this band is directly connected to that season of success that Gap Band had between 1979 and 89, 90, 91, how long that was. I hear it, and myself, Roman, and Billy have all served during that season I just spoke of as musical directors.
Got it.
And so we came to understand the feel and the vibe that really was authentic, like you say. And so now when we bring in guys, we really know what to look for and what to listen for and what to say. Yeah, that's not quite it. Why don't you do this with, if a drummer comes in, that block 'em. It can't be it's block 'em. That's why we rehearse. What it is. We rehearse and we know what it takes to make that sound happen. So that authenticity is because we have members in the band now who were there and who heard it. I mean, you said at the beginning, you thought about this interview and started singing "My Heart is Yearning." Well, I wrote that song, so I'm part of the construction of the tapestry of the music at some essential level. Yeah. And so not only did I write it, but I played on it night after night on tour, Burn Rubber, Early in the Morning, all those songs that were made popular. there are guys in the band now that were on that stage and in the studio then. And so that authenticity is kind of inbred in us. So we'll never get away from it. We can't leave it.
Yeah, I just thought about. So I got a quick question. Okay, this song "Early in the Morning" was that a real bird?
It was a rooster.
A rooster. That was a real
Somebody
rooster.
got I don't know where they got that sample of a rooster
Just me.
from.
That was my.
It's
I
a
just had
real
that quick
rooster.
question. Okay, good. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. No, I'm like, you know, because I know many people who play that song in the morning. It's a lead-off song to get up in the morning, and that was a good thing.
Right.
So now that we are, we talked about something in the virtual green room, which I thought was really good, and it's about the thought of AI, and in some regards, some of the technology is replacing actual live experience of entertainment.
Yeah.
How has that affected your music, or has it not? Because I know we got a full band tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, so what was your voice? What's your thoughts on that, the AI experience, and sometimes not having the true element of a band in place? Because I know some people they got the recording, then they're doing multiple things at once. But what about some other people who want to be a part of production? You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll give an example of how we still can use AI and it be a part of the live experience.
Okay.
If you've seen live performances by the group, what's the group that did Almost Scrubs, young ladies? TLC. They'll have a hologram of Left Eye
Point.
as they sing the song, and you can refer and see a part of his. That's AI. That's technology.
Sure.
Right.
That's a good thing. Whitney Houston, we can go to awards and sing along with Whitney. Natalie Cole did a duet with her dad, and he would have been long gone for years.
Right.
And so there are ways to use technology and it still be a part of the live experience that does not contaminate it, but can enhance the experience for folk who are there.
Yeah.
And so I think there are good ways to use it. Of course, there's abuse. You know, we had abuse before AI took over. I mean, everybody knows the Milli Vanilli story. You know, where they weren't even singing. It was just a track. And so you can misuse anything, but I think you're going to also find good uses of the technology that enhances the experience for people who are there. And so I think that's what we're trying to do. Chris kind of leads the way in there. Maybe he can talk about how we use stuff, you know, that's connected from the past, you know, guitars that were brought in from guys who played, but that they're playing along with us now, Chris.
So my thing with AI is that it's clear that we're not supposed to use it to totally replace the experience. And that's the problem.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, people don't take the time as we did to learn music. They take the shortcut and they just grab the AI and we just gonna put that right there. And they're not really true musicians at all.
Pressing a button.
You know, so AI is there to help us. It's a tool.
That's right.
If I'm a mechanic going to my car, I need tools to fix it. You need specific things. So I use it to enhance what I'm already doing, the skill that I already have, but just enhance the different tools. So and you said something about where the music is and where it's going. The danger is as we go from generation to generation, the music gets so diluted that years to come, will it go to not real music at all?
Wow.
Will it go there?
Yeah.
Well, machines are producing it.
Yeah. Like you tell that in AI, you can do this. You can tell AI, I want to write this song, this style, talking about this subject, and it'll spit out the words.
Yes.
You like,
Interesting.
what happened to just writing from the heart?
Yeah.
Right.
What happened to the good old Smokey Robinson? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right from your experience. You wrote a song because you broke up or you had a bad this and you sat down and wrote. No, none of that no more. Let me spit this on out in about 1 minute. And so that's
well, you know what, and you're 100%, and I agree with both of you. I just personally feel that AI to me takes away the human element of communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
But
just
To a certain extent.
yeah.
It does.
the challenge with AI is we have to always understand AI can only put out what you put in. So AI can't operate without a
Right,
human
yeah.
actually putting information in.
Autonomous.
It can
Yeah.
only take the information you put in it, sort it in a way that's kind of like based on computing and algorithms and whatever the computer does inside, and a mishmash of that and spit that back out. But it's still something you put in, and it puts it out in a way that's not human.
Mhm.
But it took human resourcefulness to put that in. And so AI, I don't think we need to fear it. I think there can be abuses that can really throw people off.
Yes.
And really do a lot of damage, both visually and with audio as well. But I mean, if we're going to be guardians of the art, we can't close ourselves to new technologies, but we have to certainly make sure we're doing our due diligence to make sure that the human element is not being replaced
Absolutely.
by machine,
Not being
by artificial intelligence. I mean, it's and you can do that. You can do that. And I think we do a decent job of incorporating. Jimmy Macon, God rest his soul, was a guitar player. We have some of what Jimmy did as a part of what we're doing now,
Mhm.
but we have a guitar player too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
Right.
So what is critical too is this, as you mentioned, Chris, our new artists, and respectfully, if you are in this industry, do research.
Mhm.
Please research. Look at those who've had careers who've done it successfully before you. Some of us are just using social media as our whole A and B,
Mhm.
and there's no plan of action in the middle. And so if we don't get X amount of numbers on this or X amount of what's the word?
Algorithm.
Algorithms,
Mhm.
we have failed. No, we have not. But if you do your research and produce and put together, have a plan of action, some of us just want to be social media stars. And that's unfortunate,
Mhm.
but there's a plan of action. So let's talk about your career. You coming from Europe, what have you seen differently in coming to the States that maybe the musicians or the protecting your art is from being in the States from Europe?
Well, I think it's about almost the same. On that level, everybody pretty much is doing the same kind of thing. They're trying to protect what they create and whatever like that. It's just a different culture, different sound, but everybody does basically the same.
Mhm. So tonight, everybody, tonight, we are going to be, I said we're, because I'm a plan to be there. We're going to be at the Royal Bistro, which is at 2352 172nd Street in Lansing, called the Royal Bistro, RHOYAL Bistro. Be there tonight. What time, gentlemen, roughly?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Then on tomorrow, they have a performance that will be in Glenwood, and we're going to bring that up shortly. But as we were closing out in our virtual green room this earlier today, we had a whole show in itself.
Yeah.
And so I said, and it was heartfelt to me, that we lost an icon. And many of our icons, performers, actors, a lot of great people who have, as I consider, lived better with age. But the passing of Frankie Beverly,
Mhm.
to me, I said to myself, I've never known a life without Frankie Beverly.
Wow.
I'm 53. So, I was born in 71. So I never knew a life without Frankie Beverly. So from your end, we're going to start on your side. Frankie Beverly, to me, was like almost losing, and respectfully, like losing Dr. King in regards to what he gave and how it was so universal. So what are your thoughts on his passing, and what would you like to say?
Like you said, he was a great artist, a great icon. Every time you got around the years when all the jazz and funk festivals happened, you would always have Frankie Beverly and Mays. It was like a staple.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you go in your house and you make some food, better be some macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he's a staple.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
And what about you, Chris?
I think that Frankie Beverly he's part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the movement of music. So losing him, like you said, it's losing the icon that's a part of the foundation of this music and the live band.
Wow.
You can't go anywhere, any party, without a Frankie Beverly song.
Not a one.
You can't. You
Not a
can't.
real one.
So yeah, not
That's what I'm
really.
saying.
So that's
Micromanage
the
is.
foundation. He's just the foundation.
Right.
And losing him is like losing a part of that. So like moving forward, I mean, it's like today people need to take note of that.
Yes.
His longevity.
Yes, sir.
He did exactly what he wanted to do for years and years and years until it was his time.
Yes.
He did it all the way up until it was his time.
Absolutely.
I believe he knew that.
Yes.
He retired, and within 30 days, he had passed.
Yes.
But having the ability and the opportunity to touch so many lives
Yes.
and an entire generation. I'm like you. I don't know life without Frankie. He's been a part of staple from as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember, you want to play a Frankie Beverly song at a party. And not just in the club. You see it after he passed away, they in church.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me say, "We Are One" is the official family reunion song right after OJ. Family reunion right after that is "We Are One." That's the second family reunion song. But give us your closest statement on Frankie Beverly, if you would.
You know, there's certain voices that when you hear them, you know who it is. It's unmistakable. Frankie was one of those voices. You know, iconic. Luther, Aretha, Stevie. When you hear Frankie Beverly say, "We are one," I can sing that, but when you hear Frankie sing it, you know that's Frankie, and that's somebody else. That's somebody else singing Frankie's song. He contributed to the tapestry of R&B and just a soulful sound in a way that's unique and will be with us always. That's why you record this stuff, so that Frankie's gone, but his music will live on. And so losing him means that he'll not be doing live performances. He'll not be creating music anymore. But what he left us is so valuable. It's golden.
Absolutely.
We'll always have it with us. And so we have a lot to be grateful for. Like you said, I had the privilege of doing a couple of dates with Frankie when I was with the Gap Band back in the day, and I was able to stand by the stage and watch him perform. Him and Teddy Pendergrass, we did a couple of dates with artists like that, and so I'm just glad to have had that experience up close and personal with him. To like now, I have that memory. It's not going anywhere, and so we have not only those memories, but we also have that music that will be with us. We'll sing it at family reunion.
Absolutely.
Other artists will record and do gospel versions of stuff.
Yes, right.
So,
But you know, let me say this. I had my one experience by way of his brother. One time, Frankie was performing in Chicago at the Erie Crown. They were driving up the motor coach to the hotel I was working at, and his brother said, "Can someone take his laundry and put it in the washer and return it in his bag?" So I had his white hat, his shirt, and his pants. I sat at the laundry in the hotel and put it back and returned to his brother, because that was his thing. His white hat, that whole outfit. I was like, wow. I was just like, it's like, bro, I just returned it to him. But the one thing that I want to say is, we just want to thank you all for this broadcast. It's just been great talking to you, gentlemen. We definitely will stay in touch over the years. I wish you all Godspeed, travel, and grace. But one of the things that Frankie always said in his closing retirement was, "I want to thank you." And that's what he said. And so we want to thank you. Thank you for sharing this experience. But do not forget that you need to join us tonight. We're at the Royal Bistro in Lansing. Tomorrow night, they will be at, I can't see that. Let me see. They're performing in Glenwood, Illinois, at Glenwood Oaks. So what we're going to do, if you're watching, you can go to clarahubbard.org. I'll post it. We're going to send out an e-blast, but we want you to join us tonight. So what's your social media channel? Because I'm sure people want to find you. Where can they find you?
Social media are on all platforms is GapX the band.
GapX the band.
X the band.
Tickets are on sale. You need to get your tickets for tomorrow night. Get your tickets for tomorrow night.
Get your tickets.
And it's gonna be beautiful. The weather, you know, we fall people. Bring y'all boots and y'all leather jackets and come and turn it out with them. So let me say, it's been a pleasure serving you and being a part of your day. And please remember, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. I am Clara Hubbard, also known as a granddaughter of the community, but I am also thanking WVTC for this opportunity to be a part of your program today. Peace and blessings. We'll see you next time. And go to my website, clarahubbard.org. Make it a great day, everyone.
is a yearning